Welcome, my friends. Today you're going to see an amazing attack. It's pretty complicated. I love complicated attacks. It's going to be a 3-star for me, yours truly. It's going to be a process. This is in Sea of a War. And oh boy, I'm going to walk you through the steps and show that voicing and thinking about a plan helps. Mainly thinking about the plan a little bit more than 10 minutes, and it can come up with something amazing. Is this the best dragon attack ever? I don't know about that, but it's really cool, complicated, lots of moving parts, and very fun to do. This is what you're going to do. So I'm going to process here for you. Now, I saw this hit, and I was like, you know what? I really like this hit. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to 3-star. I had the game plan. I was like, I'm going to change things up, run a similar plan, and then 3-star this base, no problem at all, right? That was the initial game plan. You'll find out that it changed. Yes, it did, and good thing, because I crushed it or got the 3-star. I think if I reran the plan, probably not. So here's the opener here on this Barracoon, of course, giving the somewhat of the idea. Now, it will change a little bit, but using some of the fundamentals. That's why you always should watch replays, of course, if you're new and you're like, instead of just, if you don't watch a replay, you should. You learn the CC, you learn some, where Teslas are, things like that. Anyways, we are coming in hot. He's going to wall break there and opening this compartment, right? I see all this. I'm like, okay, this is perfect. I'm going to rerun this plan. This is good. And here comes King and Ram. Now, the King is here to tank for the Expo, so the Ram can get all the way to the Queen compartment. That's the gist there. And I was like, oh, this is looking good, looking good. Now, a couple things. I'll just keep it on one play so we can talk about it. And so you can learn kind of the process here. Ram comes in. Look at this. Beautiful, beautiful. Taking down these archer towers. Queen's doing some nice work. And at this moment, I was like, okay, this is beautiful. Just a couple tweaks. Now, look what happens here. Now, he brought Valkyries, okay? So I had the idea, instead of Valkyries, because they didn't really get much down, like they didn't do much. And the Queen's here. I was like, I'm going to bring loons. This is perfect. The loons, and then they'll shift over to this air defense right here and help out the dragons. But for me to be able to do that, I'll have to delay the Ram. I was like, okay, Queen's going to grab this air defense here. I don't want loons going to this air defense. Then they go to the bomb tower. Then they just die out. They don't get to that air defense, right? So I was like, okay, I just have to delay my Ram a bit, which isn't hard to do. You can just time it pretty perfectly. And then the loons will go from these cannons, and then they'll shift here. I would rage up here. I'd be able to freeze rage. Look, look, just lost a dragon to a black bomb. A loon might have triggered that. So those tweaks right there, I was like, that's going to be brilliant. Also, I was going to drop one healer. If you notice, he brought 5, but he didn't need 5. In my opinion, that would give me extra loons. So I'd have loons for 12 o'clock up here and some more loons at this archer tower, okay? So with those kind of tweaks, I was like, I've got this. I don't need an extra poison that could give me a freeze or a haste. So I was like, man, I can do this, because this one came down to the wire. So I'll speed this one up at the end. But if he had loons here at the 12 o'clock, this archer tower wouldn't have killed his dragons. This archer tower almost went down. And the multi and Tesla, no big deal. Like, if I just tweaked it a little bit, I was going to be able to 3-star. That was the initial plan. I was like, I got this. So I thought about that plan first. Actually, we can just scroll down to 26, can't we? 26. But you'll find out I did something totally different. Now, how did I come up with this? This is why it's helpful to spend a little bit of time on your attack, and who knows what you'll come up with. This is really, really cool. Pretty complex, yes, but the thing is, I am confident in my own ability to attack. So if it's complex wall breakers, if it's moving parts, I know I can do it. And that's a big thing. Confidence is a big thing in this game. So if you don't have the confidence yet, I think you get it by failing. You get it by practicing and just trying and knowing just knowing. So my plan was to do the same thing. Then I saw something totally different. Okay. So let me walk you through the process here. So I was going to put a king here at the town hall. I was actually going to bowler bounce. I thought, hey, a bowler bounce here because I knew there were Teslas here. But then when I thought about it more, I was like, I could just bring one loon because the Teslas are out of range. One loon is better, guaranteed. So I was going to do king up here, 1 loon on the archer tower. I was going to put the queen over here at the army camp, pretty much in the same location. The goal was she was going to just create the funnel here, get the archer tower, wizard tower, and the Tesla here down. And then the big debate was, could the ram get to this queen compartment? I was a little nervous, like the king will be on it, the expo, I was like, what will happen? And then I was on voice with Lex, and Lex was like, hey, what about just using a blimp? And I was like, yeah, I could just use a blimp. So that is the game plan. If you don't know, you can put Valkyries in a blimp. So the goal here, I was going to put a blimp down, 3 loons behind for the expo, put a Rage Valkyries here at the queen compartment right here. And that means these buildings will be down. These will be down over here. And so I was like, pathing-wise, what can I do? I was going to start dragons at 2. They would swoop across the base. And then I would bring in loons and a hound at this air defense. So 3 loons for this cannon right here. I would put the hound down first, after. Then 4 loons at this cannon. I was going to haste to the air defense. And I predicted as the loons got to this air defense, my hound would pop. I would then haste again over the expo and then clone in the middle. Notice the pathing goes perfectly. It goes from the expo right to the middle. The dragons would then be meeting up with them. And then I would have clone loons right at the bomb tower, taking down the air defense. And then I'd bring in 5 more loons at this cannon with a haste to get down the final air defense. You kind of see that little pathing. And the dragons would come in. Dragons don't get hurt by wizard towers or multis. They can withstand so much of that. And then on the back end, I just have two archer towers left. And I thought, well, maybe I wouldn't get the expo down, but it's not a big deal with my loons. I would still have enough loons in the tank. And that's the game plan. And pretty complicated because there's a lot of moving parts. And if you're newer, maybe it's a little too much. But I'm just going to walk you through it. Not a big deal in the sense of I wasn't nervous in the sense I couldn't do it. I was nervous attacking, but not in the sense I knew I liked the plan. You know, sometimes, and Lex thought it was crazy. He's like, I don't know about this plan, but I had confidence. I was like, I like it. And if you have confidence in it, then sometimes that's what you need to do. There goes the king. I had a goblin just to help him out. Here comes the loon. Now, I put the queen down. I waited a couple seconds on purpose. Then I dropped the blimp. A little bit late on my loons here, I must admit. Did I put 4 by? I put 4 by accident. That was not. I was supposed to only be 3. I only needed 3. That's okay. But notice king's still up there. Queen's getting hit a little. I'm about to rage up the queen. There goes the rage on the Valkyries. Perfectly done. Queen pops ability. King pops ability at the same time. Now look what happens here. Look what I said about the funnel. I knew these would be up, right? Queen did her thing. She's about to die. I knew it. So now I bring in the dragons. King is creating a funnel. So everything's going to plan. Everything's going to plan right now. I'm feeling good about it. Feeling good. At least the opener started off good. We'll see how the rest of the raid goes. Now my mental cue, I had a mental cue. When the dragons get to the Inferno Tower, that's when I bring in my hound and loons, right? Because if I waited too long, these air defenses would start killing my dragons. If I went too early, they wouldn't meet up in unison. So I thought, okay, Inferno Tower, that's a good section to do it. In fact, I could have brought them in just a little early. The rage really pushed them through the Inferno very fast. So I could have brought in the loons a second sooner. Notice I lost one dragon to the air defense. So that time, and again, that's a little mistake. But it's not the end of the world. Here comes the hasted loons, all planned, all pre-planned. Minions go down for cleanup. The dragons can handle up top. The hound pops. Here comes the clone spell with a haste. Here comes the side loons. Look at that. Side loons coming in to get the final air defense there with a haste. A lot of moving parts. And I got a heal spell. I decided to put them on the loons. I knew that the dragon there. I could have put it on that one dragon. Was like, no, loons are more valuable, of course. Dragon still got the Inferno Tower down, and then I got the loons up in the bag. I've got 3 dragon, well, 1 died. I got 2 dragons up. Pretty good health on the dragons there. I've got about, is that 7 loons? Something like that, 6, 7 loons. And there you go. That is one of the coolest attacks I have done, or one of my most favorite attacks I've done. There was another complicated attack, a lot of moving parts I did. I posted a video on it. I just really like the strategy behind it, and just the moving parts, right? You had to do king, queen, blimp with Valkyries in it. You don't really see that a lot. And then I got side loons with a hound coming in with dragons and a clone. Like a lot of spells to put down, a lot of things to think about, and certainly timing was a very big deal, I think, on that hit. You needed things to get timed pretty perfectly with the loons and the dragons at the same time. So there you go. That is it. Clone dragon attack. One of my favorite I've done all year. What do you think about it? Did you like the attack? And yeah, I went 1 for 2 in this war. Unfortunately, could not get the 6-pack. I had a 92% on my other hit. Thought I was going to get the 3-star. Just didn't happen. Just one of those things, I guess. But anyways, let me know. And thanks for watching. We did end up losing this war, but good season all around. Please subscribe. Please share for more, and try to get those complicated attacks in. If you take the extra time. I just took a little bit of extra time to think about the base, and then I came up with that. And it was a way better plan than the original Queen Walk. I think that would have failed if I even tried it. Maybe not would have, but it wouldn't have been as smooth, in my opinion, after seeing that 3-star there. So yeah, a little extra time helps, a little voicing helps. Halo out.
Threaten my people with slavery and death. This is madness. Madness. This is Sparta!